this is Amarok, my new horse. He's a 4-year-old Andalusian mixed with Frisian, and we're gonna do some groundwork in Liberty, and he has never done this before, so this is the first. Enjoy!
I'm going to do a voiceover on this video to let you know what I'm doing. Here I'm just standing in the middle of the lunch circle, and I'm not doing anything, not asking anything, and he starts to trot because he does feel my presence as pressure. So I just stand there and let him do his thing, find his own peace of mind with me being in there without asking anything. Nice smelling and sniffing and looking around, getting to know the lunch circle a bit, and there he stops. He looks away and I want him to focus on me. So I point my hand in the direction where I want to go, then I walk towards him. He doesn't respond to that. I wiggle with my rope a little, and then he flies off. Of course I want to get that moving away way more smooth later on, but this was a first, so it's okay that it is a bit explosive. When I draw him in, when I walk backwards, I draw him in, I want all 4 legs to turn towards me, and now only 3 legs turn towards me, and he's standing there, he's a bit distracted, and then he decides that he needs to poo. It's probably from the stress and walking, and but that's okay. So I let him look around, but he's really not too much interested in me yet. He's walking away, so I point in the direction he's going. If he wants to walk, that's fine, then he needs to walk, so I walk towards him to enhance my signal, give a little wiggle with the rope, and there I decided that I'm not gonna pressure him into a trot because he's a bit wary at the moment. Maybe I should have, but I'm a human too. Sometimes I make mistakes. So here you see that every time that he falls back to walk, I point my finger to get him to trot. Here, point my finger, walk towards him with a little more intention, and then wiggle my rope. It's always that sequence. Finger, walking towards him, wiggle my rope. And when he's trotting around, I just follow his movement with my feet. I release my hand signal, I release the rope signal, and here I walk backwards, draw him in, all 4 legs came in, and there I stand relaxed. I try to bend through my hip, bend through my knee, one knee, breathe in deep and out, in and out deep as well. Yawn and lick and chew myself to get the right example. If I see that he's looking in a direction, I make sure that I look in that direction as well to give him the feeling that I'm very aware of my surroundings and I'm in the lead. I know that there's nothing going on, there's just a car. So here I point my finger, I walk towards him, and then I wiggle my rope. And there he flies off. He doesn't know what I mean yet. This is the very first Liberty training here. All 4 legs came in, very nice. And there I release by just doing nothing. He's allowed to look away as long as he also keeps an ear and an eye on me and is aware of what I'm doing. I don't want him to focus to something in the distance and not mind me anymore. So I point my hand, walk towards him, wiggle my rope. Yes, because I don't want him to keep on turning. I want him to walk off in that direction. He looks at me and says, "Nee." Here I wiggle my rope again to enhance it. Because he's trying if he can turn around and decide the direction, and now he figured out that I decide the direction. And I walk backwards to draw him in. And all 4 feet turned inwards towards me. I stopped, see if I can draw him a little further, but he's a bit standoffish because he's a bit wary about humans still. So this is a comfortable distance for him to be at and to relax. Oh, not even relax, but just to look at me. Oh yeah, there he relaxes, he lowers his head, but he's also walking off. And I stop him on the drive line. What I should have done is make him walk a little further. I decided I'd do that now, so I pointed my finger, walked towards him. I don't want to pressure him too much because I don't want him to trot off every time. I just want him to walk off. So I'm trying to find a balance in how much pressure to get him to walk instead of trot. So now he is walking. He's looking inwards. Do you still want me to keep walking? Yes. And you can go trot. So now he trots away. He stops, or he walks, and I send him away and trot again. And you already see how smart he is, because he already figured out that my hand signal means that he needs to speed up. And this is really the first Liberty training we did. He arrived on Wednesday. And I did some leading on the slack rope with him, but that's it. This is the first Liberty training. I drew him in here, but not all 4 feet came in. Only 3 of them, you see it. Oh, and that's... Normally, if I send a horse away, I try to do that in the direction that they are looking at, because that's easier. Now, I chose the wrong direction, because I wanted him to change hands, and he turned with his hind legs towards me. So that was my mistake in this case. And I realized that. Well, he's licking and chewing, turned all 4 legs towards me when I drew him in. And licking and chewing. That's the first lick and chew, but he decides that he wants to walk off. I follow him in that idea and make him trot. If you don't want to stand still, you go work a little. You see, he's looking at me. Can I come in now? No, you can keep on trotting. Now I ask him in, he doesn't want to come in, so turns his hind end towards me, so I send him away again. Wrong choice. He's just trying out what works and what not. Here you see me not releasing fast enough with my hand. And all 4 legs came in. And he's standing still.
Turning your hind end was the wrong choice. Turning your front is the right choice.
And he's walking off again. But he's still looking at me, licking and chewing. And there he goes. He wanted to go the other way, so I decided to follow him on the other way. Then he wanted to turn back. I should have done something sooner, because he was trying me out and I wasn't smart enough to, or quick enough to respond to it. So I'm also figuring out this new horse. And here I drew him in again to see if he wants to relax now. Because all that I want is his focus on me on a distance and relaxation. And of course I can't have it all at the first try, but we get quite a lot. He's able to turn inwards with when I draw him in with all 4 legs. He has his focus on me and he has the distance. He's pretty standoffish because he's not very used to humans yet. So the distance is, in this case, more relaxing for him. And here you see that I sent him off with the hand that I have the rope in, so I didn't switch hands with the rope. I send him off, walk towards him, and then I stop because I don't want him to trot off, but he trots off anyway. He wants to trot. Now we make him work. So I send him off. No, you were trotting, so we keep on trotting. Now he starts to canter. Keep on going. You wanted to work, so you work. Now I draw you in when it's my initiative. He doesn't do it, so I send him off again. It's fine, you can canter a little. See if you want to come in on my initiative now. And he does. He's chosen that this is the easier path. I sent him off in the way he is looking, turns it inward, goes off in walk, very nice. But you see, as soon as I start following him in his movement with my feet, he starts to feel that as pressure and trots. So I ask him in again and see if I can approach him without running away. What you see here is that I just approach him, he turns his head away and I stop. He says, oh, that's a bit too much, and I stop for a moment, then I try again as soon as he looks at me. What you maybe not can see is that I stuck my hand out toward him so he could sniff on it, and once he did that, I released by taking my hand back and stepping back. Now I'm standing next to him, I'm gonna pet him a little because he's not used to petting or brushing or anything much yet. Pet him all over his body, see if I can touch him everywhere in liberty. When I step away out of his bubble, he actually follows me. And I just stand there, give my hand again to have him sniff it, to make contact. He does, and I release. With a horse like this, it's very important to constantly release pressure. As soon as he does something good, release it. That's the way he learns. And you see, if I look away, he is actually interested in me. I have a little dog running under my feet here. So if you hear some paws on the carpet, you know, it's our little Stella. Here I'm touching him on this, Amarok on this side as well. And he stands still, so I release the pressure again. Let him smell my hand. He does that, I release. Give him room to smell me, get a little closer. And there he chews and licks a little. You see, if I take the guard by looking away, checking out the surroundings, he is able to focus on me and is a bit inquisitive and curious. As soon as I watch him and look at him, he feels my eyes as pressure, and he gets a bit more tense. Now I walked away just now, and when I stopped, he stopped also. So that's good. I give him my hand again and release the pressure again. Touching him. Now I'm going to, I think, touch his leg. He's a bit wary about that, and he's not sure if he likes it. But I keep my hand there until he stands still, and then I release the pressure. And touch him on his back and his butt, like I would do with a brush, and release. I try to release when he stands still. And he stands still, so I'm not gonna keep on pressuring him until he moves. I want him to learn that when he stands still, it's over the quickest and it's the best choice for him. So I want to keep the pressure as short as possible and release as quickly as possible at the right moment. Here you see that I could touch his ears, and I tried to touch the front leg on the upper part here as well, and release on him standing still while I do that. I step backwards and you see that he draws towards me, touches my hand and release it again. Touch his back and his belly and his butt and his upper leg. And he allows all that. I pat his butt a little to give him all that kind of senses without making it like he. When I would tie him up and do all that, he could comply with it, but he could maybe not feel confident about it. And now he is okay with it, and he stands still. He's free to go if he doesn't like it. You saw I walked away. He followed me, stayed with me. So he feels confident enough to be in my how do you say, to follow me, my lead, and stay with me. And I touch his ears again. He was looking away, and there I stepped sideways to see if I could get his focus back. And here I'm putting the lead rope back on the halter, and I do that with as much movement of the lead rope as I can to not make him scared of moving objects when I'm working with him or putting a halter on or stuff like that. I want him to feel confident that that's not an aid, he doesn't need to do anything about it, it's okay if that rope moves a little. And here I walk away, lead him around on a slack rope.
Ik vind dat je het goed gedaan hebt, vriend. Ga lekker naar stal. Mag je nog even eten?
And that's the end of the video. Later today I also am able to pick up both his front feet.